what I realized yesterday when we was talking about, like, somebody was in the chat and they was talking about the problem with 2K. They were saying the problem with 2K was this and this and that. And then I realized, you know what? They tried to make the NBA like 2K.
Like a video game.
They tried to make
game
the
of
NBA
stimulation.
just like
Yeah,
2K.
I mean, game of stimulation.
I seen people talking about, oh, they're just, I'm not slowing the game down. I'm not going to do this. I'm not doing that. And that's exactly how people. That's when you say you learn the game, how you see it now. A lot of, the majority of people learn basketball playing 2K. Just like I learned how to drive playing Vice City. I still drive like that. You know what I'm saying?
God.
So it's like a lot of people learn basketball by playing 2K. And it's so obvious. You can see it in today. You can see how people don't like.
That's why they be talking about rim protecting wing. That's why they say rim protecting wing.
I'm talking about
last time when they start talking about rim protecting wing and floor spacing, fast breaking forward. Like that shit come off 2K, bro. Nobody talk about that shit ever, bro. Like nobody has ever said where's my rim protecting wing.
Exactly, Jordan. What they call it? Archetypes.
Yeah, like
James Harden plays 2K.
Ron, remember I was talking to you a couple weeks ago and I told you that they got that shit from 2K. I remember exactly where I was at.
You brothers are behind.
No, bro. I remember
when y'all need to get with the new wave.
I was at the shawarma spot up the street grabbing the shawarma, and I remember vividly where I was at, what I was ordering, what I was doing. We were having this conversation on the phone. I told you, I said, bro, they get this shit from 2K.
No, that's a fact. I remember when they first put that shit on 2K, and they
y'all
was
need
like,
to just get with the wave, though.
I'm like, what the?
I tried. Remember that was my New Year's resolution. I tried.
Ox, in my understanding, really quickly, Jordan, Ox, in my understanding that I'm talking to people or I'm having conversations with people who are getting their basketball knowledge from assimilation.
For sure.
Yes. How many times have we heard that up here? I've heard that so many times up here. I simulated it on 2K.
Bro,
you did what?
So not actual basketball, Ox, like watching actual basketball from assimilation. Is that what I'm understanding?
I remember my coach, Son Higgins, was the first one to put me up on this. By this time, I wasn't even playing 2K anymore anyway. This was the year I stopped playing video games. It was 2009. This was the year I stopped playing video games. And then I remember he
started playing 2K.
He used to say this all the time. 2009, 2010. That year, 2009, 09, 010. That year. He used to say that all the time. Be like, man, y'all doing this shit like you playing 2K. I start realizing, like, bro, that's really how y'all learn how to play basketball, huh?
No, but look, Ox, I think it was like 2016, maybe 2017, when they started putting that shit on 2K, and they was like, I swear to God, the first time they did it was like a tempo pushing point guard. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? A rebounding, like it was like some dumbass shit, like a floor spacing wing. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this?
It's not necessarily dumb though, because that makes sense though. Like a fast point guard that pushes the tempo.
Nobody ever said this guy. Nobody has ever like talked about basketball in that way though. Like this is my tempo pushing point guard.
Right,
but coaches have. My coach did.
Yeah, hey, Blair just said it. A playmaking paint beast. What the fuck is that?
That's what we call that.
That shit killed me when I saw that. A playmaking paint beast.
God damn.
I mean,
your coach never told you to push tempo. Your coach never. You never talked to a jumbo playmakers.
Yeah, push the rock. He's saying get up the court, push the rock. Let's run. I'm tired of people acting like this shit wasn't around in the 2000s. I'm tired of people acting like this shit comes from 2K. No, we had versatile defenders. We had drop bigs. We had switch bigs. We had a tempo pushing wings.
Bigs? I never heard nobody or drop big.
Jordan, that's because you didn't have to say that thing. You didn't have to say
exactly.
You just did it. You know what I'm saying? You just played basketball.
That's what I'm saying.
You bumped the cutters. You switched. You hedged. You didn't have to say that. The first one that I remember them really doing and really talking about was the stretch big. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. But to your point though, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like the play style of trying to make basketball like 2K, I hate that. But the archetype thing and saying things like that, I think that's fine. Well, okay. Well, I think
it's unnecessary.
Let me have my opinion, Pen. Let me have my opinion. My opinion is that due to fans, due to the money in basketball, due to the fact that a lot of the casual fans don't have any idea what they're looking at, they're trying to make it relatable. They can relate to 2K. I think they're trying to make the real game like the fake game, and it's what it is. That's what I think. You don't think so? Fine. I think that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But I also believe that naming players and different archetypes and stuff like that, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's perfectly fine, and I think that makes sense.
I'm curious. Cool. In 2009, 2010, you were playing video games, right? Were you launching? I
stopped playing video games in about 07, 08. Yeah.
I thought you said 09, 010. Okay, whatever. I don't remember taking threes from the logo like Steph Curry in 2000, in 2K6, 2K7. Until he got to the league, I don't remember doing that. So the question is the cart and the horse argument. Are people trying to play like the basketball they see in AAU, in their local rec rooms, whatever? Because I remember I did a lot of mid-post stuff in 2K1, 2K2, because that's what I saw. That's what I saw Kobe doing. That's what I saw Michael Jordan doing. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to feed it to the post because I had Shaq or Arvydas Sabonis or one of those guys. I was doing a lot of that. But now I want my big to stretch out because that's what I see. So I don't know if it's people trying to mimic 2K, more like people watching the game and being like, this is how basketball is played.
I don't think that's you, Pin. That's you. But I definitely remember playing video games and people just running around firing up threes. You know what I'm saying? Doing all that. I 100% remember that. Like, maybe that's how you played it. But.
No, and I have to ask you, Ox, because I've actually been up on here and have asked you guys because the terminologies, they've changed so much, and I do my best to change with the times, Ron. I do my best to stay caught up with what you guys got going on and what's going on. But like when I first heard Chris Paul say drop coverage, I'm like, what the hell is that? What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul didn't know what the fuck it mean too, though.
I was like drop coverage, and then I saw it. I'm like, oh, you going under the screen? That's all that means, right? Okay, I got it. I know what drop coverage is. You going under the screen.
Drop coverage is it's you're just not playing defense. Remember we talked about this. If you playing drop, you ain't playing. If you playing drop, you ain't playing no D.
Essentially, here comes the screen, and I'm going under the screen, and I'm dropping off of you. That's essentially
no.
Chill. That's the big when the guard comes off the pick in the big kind of drops, whatever.
Yeah. Right. That's not the guard. That's not the guard.
But chill. Yeah. That's the one for you. For me, the first one I heard when I first came around PC was the inverse pick and roll. For the life of me, I was like, "What are y'all talking about?"
I heard that before, and I was like,
"Yeah." They were like, "Oh, when the big sets when the guard sets the pick, that's just a pick and roll.
That's just a pick and roll, bro.
It ain't no inverse pick and roll.
That's just a pick and roll.
That's what it is.
And see, that's where it gets tricky with me, Ox, because when I heard inverse pick and roll, I'm like, okay, it was when I first saw Joker and the kid Plumlee doing it, and you don't see 4 and 5s pick and rolling, and that's what I heard. That's when I first heard pick and roll. You got two bigs. Pick and rolling. I'm like, okay.
No, this is more for a guard setting a pick for a big.
Basically pick and roll.
Yeah, that's just pick and roll.
Inverted pick and roll.
Yeah,
you know what I realized from like when I'm because I'm in this space. Like I watch a lot of basketball content. I watch a lot of shit. It just be motherfuckers making up shit, bro. Like they just making shit up and they sound intellectual, and people think that's what it's called. But it's like, 100%. Bro, they don't really talk like this.
Pin, why are you getting triggered?
Because Ron, it was created by Pins.
Because Pin, I'm not gonna argue with you. Because to be honest with you, like when I first heard tertiary ball handler, I was like, what the fuck is a tertiary?
Bro, they just be making up
what? Pin, I want you to hear me out, Pin.
I've been listening for an hour.
I said I want you to hear me out. They've been talking. I haven't said too much.
Okay.
I do want to say that I do believe so. Words are the key to imagery. You can't imagine something or put something together without having words that clearly define something.
Correct.
I don't mind the position archetypes. I don't mind you labeling. I actually like the word inverse pick and roll because it lets you know that it is a flipped pick and roll. Yes, it is just a pick and roll, but it's also an inverse pick and roll. It is a pick and roll that is the opposite. Tertiary ball handler. Yes, he is a ball handler, but he's the third option ball handler on the team. I like the definitions because it further breaks things down and it adds clarity to it. The only point that we're trying to make up here, Pin, is that through the 90s, the 80s maybe with Chill, the 2000s, wasn't none of this.
Fuck that. The
2010s too, wasn't none of this necessary.
It just wasn't necessary.
The game was different. You didn't have the same players.
It wasn't an inside-out playmaker or a playmaking shot creator
or a playmaking paint beast.
Or a 3-level scorer.
You know what else?
Or glass.
How you a 3-level scorer?
You know what else you didn't have in 2006? Cryptocurrency. You know what else you didn't have in 2007?
Cryptocurrency. Y'all believe in that shit? I'm not.
Oh my god. Okay.
I made some money off it. Don't get me wrong.
Don't do that. You gonna have a crypto nerd on your bumper. I'm not.
I don't care.
Okay.
Look, Jordan. I got involved in it. Don't get me wrong. I got involved. I got me some bread, but I ain't messing with that shit, bro. The government ain't finna allow that to go on.
Here's 8 offensive positions. You tell me which one you think is OD. Okay. A primary ball
positions. You said?
Yes.
A primary ball handler.
Primary ball handler. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
We can all use examples. John Stockton, primary ball handler. LeBron James, primary ball handler. Perfect. Secondary ball handler. We know what we're talking about. The Scottie Pippins, the Scotty Barnes of the world. We know what we're talking about. Movement.
Scottie Pippen could have been a primary ball handler too, but
I thought he was a primary ball handler.
Yeah. But I mean, I give Austin Reeves secondary ball handler.
Sure.
All right.
I could get with that. Yeah.
What about this one? Basketball player.
What about this?
What about
not specific enough?
Hooper. Like
okay, go to the YMCA, go to LA Fitness, go play like that. That's not how like basketball at the higher levels works. Connector. Make sense?
Gotcha.
Connector.
Now they don't talk about bro. They don't talk about basketball like this on the highest level. They don't. It's just
yes, they do.
No, they do not, bro.
Yes,
they do not talk about this.
I talk to trainers and scouts all the time. They are talking about connectors all the time. They're talking about roll men all the time. They're talking about versatile bigs all the time.
I will call an NBA player, ask him what the fuck is a connector. He gonna say, bro, what the fuck is you talking about?
If you call an NBA player right now, if you call an NBA player right now and you ask him what's a connector, and he be like, oh no, that's the dumbest NBA player in the NBA.
No, the fuck
that's because you just play ball.
They don't talk like that.
They're all connectors. You're a connector because you got to make a set. You got to make the extra pass. You got to swing the ball. You got to find it here. Boom, boom. I know that you think
is it meaningful to differentiate between?
You have to be able to do all things on the basketball court.
Is it meaningful?
You got to be comfortable with the ball.
Is it meaningful to differentiate between spot up shooters and movement shooters for you?
And what shooters?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Okay, perfect. So it is for me. Okay, and I'm kind of sick and tired of you acting like
no, it is 100%
because I want to define the game to a more
movement shooters and spot
granular level because the game has
advanced. I didn't say they're not
level.
The same, what I'm saying is
because the truth is, when in the 90s there really weren't 25 movement shooters walking around. There really weren't. There were like 3, and we just called them exceptional shooters. No, it's not cap. Okay, name the top 10 movement shooters, Jordan, of 1993. Go ahead. I'll wait. I won't hold my breath.
I don't know the fucking spot. I'm not just thinking about this shit in my sleep. But what I'm saying is the way they played basketball, like the way they did it, they moved a lot. Like they came off screens. They came off a lot of stuff. Everybody just wasn't. They got more fucking spot up shooters now than they did.
They moved. They shot off the screens way more back then. They may shoot off the dribble now more, but they shot off the screens way more down there.
Yeah,
when's the last time you seen somebody come off a curl cut? Hey, chill. When's the last time you seen a down screen and somebody curl the screen, catch the ball 1-2 into a shot? You don't see that
all season last year, man.
When's the last time you seen a flare 3? When's the last time you seen somebody set a back screen and somebody flare to the corner?
We are trying to define the game. Look, everything has moved forward. Cars have gotten better. Televisions have gotten better. I certainly don't see you being like, oh, why they make the TV so flat? And why is my computer so mobile?
That's not the pushback.
Why are my headphones so small? Why is it that we fight evolution? We don't fight evolution in anything. I certainly don't see you buying an 89 Volvo. So why the hell are we fighting evolution in basketball? Now, y'all want to say, oh, the Pens of the world have created this. No, I don't think that's accurate at all. Some of the best coaches in the world look nothing like me and think nothing like me and have played professional basketball. Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Steve Nash, these are the greatest players, some of the greatest players of all time. These are former league MVPs, and they would discuss this game exactly as I'm defining it right now. Kevin Durant is a student of the game, a surgeon of the game. Steph Curry is a surgeon of the game. The best players learn this shit. The stupidest players, the ones who are out of the league in 3 years and be like, I'm not learning that shit. Those are the guys who end up in the G League.
So the best players, will define themselves as a two-way shot machine.
Bro, they don't talk about basketball.
Why are we moving the goalpost? I said connector. Like that, yeah, if you ask Scotty Barnes, what's a connector? He tell you he's a connector. He tell you he himself is a connector.
Maybe connector, but we're getting caught up on one word.
Only way they can get in a conversation. I'm gonna be real.
A role man.
Because
a role man's been used forever. Like
that it is more accurate to define someone as a role man than define him as a 4 or a 5.
That's not a new word. Hold on. A role man's been used forever.
How many wings start their offense in the post now?
A lot. Start their offense in the post?
Yeah.
Like
look, the formation of offense right now is versatile. Okay. Teams studied the triangle. Teams studied European basketball. Teams studied Spain's offense. That's how we get the Spain pick and roll. Teams study. They dissect games, and they dissect plays, and then we evolve. That's what happens when you consistently study basketball over a long period of time, and you borrow from this guy, that guy, really and you evolve. No, what y'all want to do is y'all want to see static basketball. Y'all want to see like, oh, well,
no. Hold on.
What's happening? We are moving in the right direction.
No.
We are absolutely moving in the right
direction. Two-way player. That's what we're talking about.
Bro, this is the problem, and it's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings because this is just the bottom line of the truth. The fucking nerds of this basketball world is trying to bully people that play basketball. That's what the fuck is going on. Bro, the reason why y'all talk like this is because y'all can't get in a basketball conversation without you getting respected. So y'all use these bullshit ass words so people can say, oh, you sound like you know what the fuck you talking about, when realistically you don't. Like, no basketball player talk like this. Nerds are trying to flip the script. That's what's going on. They trying to flip the script and bully. I said this the other day on Twitter. I noticed this. I started getting baited into these bullshit ass conversations. Nerds been flipping the script and trying to bully motherfuckers that know basketball for real to try to get in the conversation. Bro,
you are a basketball nerd.
Like,
you are a basketball nerd. You study film all day. You are a basketball nerd.
Inverted pick and roll. Or we don't know what this shit is. Bro, basketball players they never talk like this. Never. Nerds got to the table because they're not athletic. They can't do nothing else. Nobody ever respected their basketball opinion until they changed the vocabulary. And now everybody across the world is trying to change their vocabulary.
Kobe's a nerd.
Bullshit.
Kobe's a nerd. What the fuck do you think Detail was?
Kobe talk about basketball like that.
What the hell do you think Detail was? Did you watch it?
Yes, I watched Kobe's basketball breakdown. Yeah. Did you ever hear him use any of these terms on that basketball
Steve Nash
breakdown?
was just a nerd. He couldn't get on the court. Mike D'Antoni never played basketball, huh? James Harden.
What does that have to do with
James Harden is a surgeon in the game. Kevin Durant,
did play
Steph
basketball,
Curry.
by the way.
You are talking about the best basketball players. Nikola Jokic will ask 15 questions after every single play in a Denver Nuggets practice. And I wish Swiper was up here. The first time I've ever said that in my life to tell you that is correct. That dude is very curious.
What is correct?
That Nikola Jokic is a deeply curious basketball player in practices. So every single time the coach is bringing out one play, he is the one person asking like, that's their Princeton offense from this thing. That he is consistently like you are one to talk, man. I've been watching your content for 2.5 years. You are
Jordan. You might be a nerd of it. You
are a nerd.
That's not what Jordan's saying.
You're a nerd.
You just don't use the verbiage that nerds use.
You know why? Because motherfuckers that watch basketball don't understand it, bro.
Jordan, I'm gonna blow your mind right now. You and the nerds are doing the same damn thing. You just have a lot more charisma when you're doing it. That's it. You're breaking down game film. You're breaking down game film. You're isolating which dribble, whatever. You're getting surgical with the training. And honestly, and you'd be a bad trainer if you weren't a nerd.
I wouldn't want to the point that Jordan is making.
That's not what I'm saying.
The point that Jordan is making is just change the verbiage. And these nerds that came into the game, what they did was they changed the verbiage to make it look like they know more about basketball.
I'm not denying that there's a little bit of gatekeeping.
That's exactly what they did. That's why people call Shaq dumb. People call Charles Barkley dumb. That's why motherfuckers that never done what them motherfuckers did always be like, you dumb, you dumb, you dumb. Like, do you really think Shaq is fucking dumb about basketball? I'm 1,000% sure he know more basketball than a lot of motherfuckers. Way more.
So,
but y'all can call him dumb because he don't talk like the way y'all talk.
He's not researched. I would say that. He's not well researched. He is very smart basketball player, but he's if you can learn Phil Jackson's triangle and win 3 championships, you good by me.
But
you're a smart basketball player.
The thing about Shaq is he doesn't have to be researched. Shaq has put in over 40,000 hours more than hardwood.
$15 million a year to talk about basketball. It wouldn't hurt to do a little research.
Shaq has put in his work. Shaq don't gotta watch these weak ass basketball players play right now to be able to talk about the game.
This is what is wrong with basketball culture.
No, it's not.
Shaq doesn't have bullshit, man.
Shaq doesn't have to watch the Pistons.
This is why you talk shit about the Raptors.
This
is why you talk shit about the Raptors. You don't watch one Raptor game. I guarantee. I would bet my life right now you ain't watched 2 Raptor games all year. But you would talk shit about Scottie. You talk shit about Ingram. You talk shit about players you don't know. And I'm trying to get away from that. If I'm talking about you, I watch you.
Here's why. And the reason why that's going on, Penn,
and there ain't nothing nerdy about that.
Here's the difference, though, Penn. The difference is that Shaq has played winning basketball. Shaq has been on championship teams. He was in the NBA championship 5 times out of 7 years, which means that you can't tell me how to win. I know how to win. You can't tell me what it takes to win. You can't tell me what it takes to build an NBA champion. You can't tell me what it takes to train to be that. You can't tell me what it takes to go through that. You can't tell me that.
But you can use a different verbiage that nobody ever heard of.
Yo, go watch some Detroit Pistons. Is that hard? Chill. Let me ask you a question. Chill. You are a very well-researched guy. So the fact that you are related to Shaq, just ignore that for a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question. If you go into a friggin' you go on vacation for a year, you don't watch any basketball, and you come back a year later, we'd be like, chill, we happy to see you. Let's talk about what the Pistons did last year. What are you contributing to that? You ain't watched NBA all year. What the hell can you contribute? My point is simple. No one is telling Shaquille O'Neal how to be a good basketball player. I'm certainly not. I'm not telling him. But when he goes down and he is criticizing Rudy Gobert and Joel Embiid and Spider Mitchell, and you tell me you ain't watched them play 2 times in this year, and you just looking at the box score, you are offering casual. No. Here's the problem.
How is he not watching them when he's on set? He's on. So it'll be the Nuggets versus the Wolves. He's on set commentating during halftime of the game. They watch the game during halftime. He'll come on there and talk about the game, and then after the game, they'll talk about it. Shaq's job isn't to go watch the Pistons and talk about that. His job is to commentate on the specific game.
We just saw Stephen A. Smith at the basketball game. Yo, we watched Stephen A. Smith at the basketball game playing solitaire. So I don't need to listen to you tell me that because a dude is in the building or because a dude. I don't want to listen to that bullshit. No, I'm sorry. Listen, here's the problem. Okay, there is no. Let me put it this straight. On one hand, there's Mars, okay, and Nerd Sesh. Okay, you can call them nerds, you can call them whatever the hell you want. They come prepared. They come and you gotta respect it because that shit takes work. The same reason you respect Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan as basketball players is the same reason you gotta respect Mars and Nerd Sesh and frankly Jordan. No offense, I'm gonna put you with the nerds.
Mars watch a lot of basketball.
You watch a lot of basketball too. Don't be lying. Don't be lying and trying to be one of the cool kids here. You watch a ton of basketball. You watch more basketball. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I watch a ton of basketball. You might watch more basketball than I do.
There's nothing corny about watching basketball.
There's nothing corny about it, and that's what I'm saying. So being researched, there's nothing. If you're paid to talk basketball, you better not be reading the box score to me.
It's not the research that we are talking about. Like that is commendable. The more you watch, the more you study, the more you learn the game. That's commendable. It is the terminology that we're talking about.
Like I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with Mars. Like the biggest misconception.
Glass cleaning lockdown. What is a glass cleaning lockdown?
Like the biggest misconception about Mars is right. Like you can say Mars is a nerd. Not really. Like Mars can have a full-blown basketball conversation with you and not bring up one of them terms. Like so, he can do a full-blown conversation and argue every point and not bring up none of that shit because he's watching it, because he's studying it, because he sees it. But this is the whole deal with this terminology. And we can end this shit here. When you look up shit like VORP and win shares and you place the rankings of these players and you only see 3 good players, and then after that the rankings be flawed and fucked up. You know why? Because they don't know what the fuck they talking about. That's why. That's exactly why
but you know what you're talking about saying 22, 7, and 7, and he's a bum.
Win shares.
Why is one thing worse than the other? Why is my saying that Chris Paul is amazing because he had a 55 win shares in his first 4 seasons? Why is that any less absurd a statement than LeBron is a bum for averaging 22 on 35% 3-point shooting? By the way,
who said he was a bum? Nobody ever said Bron is a bum.
Oh, I'm sorry. The word was quit. He quit. He quit the finals because he had 22, 7, and 7. Man,
you can quit. What does that have to do with? What does that have
the,
to do
the
with
law of evolution? The law of
shares
evolution says find a way. Okay, if you're a shooter, shoot. If you're a rebounder, rebound. Okay, Ben Wallace ain't making it to the NBA. What's up?
He said super chat.
We got to get to these super chats.
Damn.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.